Okay, so what do you get when you cast Isla Fisher, James McAvoy, and a writer and director of the same guy, Boris van Schwoitzky? A German director who had never written or directed anything before, and he decides to just make a really generic slasher flick. Well, you get the masterpiece, Swimming Pool. Or if you want to get super technical, the original film title for this was in German and it was called Der Tod führt mit. I don't even know if that's even close to how you pronounce it, but holy shit, this is one to watch. If you can actually find somewhere that's selling it, or if you can even find it online, this took me like 6 months to try and find this. Let's actually get to the story. What is the story to Swimming Pool? Well, let's check out the Google's description of this film. A masked killer slaughters young people having a party at a fancy gymnasium. That's the description. Okay, so the basic summary of this plot, excluding Google's description of it, a bunch of teenagers have just finished high school, and now they're going on to college because they are officially too cool for school. Yeah, I'm not kidding. That's a direct quote from the movie.
Tell us, where's the party tonight?
It's in the gym, where else would it be?
Not the official Yana Fun. The unofficial.
After party.
The party until you puke, and then you party some more party!
So they've organized an after party after graduation party. The one that's unofficial, so that no one knows where they are, and it's in a place where what they've done is illegal, so obviously no one's going to assume that where they are is somewhere where anyone's going to look. Okay.
Goddamn Argentinians. Always sneaking up and attacking me. Swear to God, I feel like the Falkland Islands sometimes.
Not my fault you're so jumpy. I was only being friendly.
My girlfriends aren't that friendly.
Not to you anyway. We need your skills.
Need your car fixed?
Your old skills. Your breaking and entering type of skills.
No, I don't do that stuff anymore.
They're all really rich kids and they all give off that sense of, I've got a gigantic ego the size of an elephant per person. And this is where Isla Fisher's character comes in. She's like super poor, she's done really badly in high school, she struggled, and she is pretty confident that she failed dramatically in her final test scores. And so therefore she's having this argument with James McAvoy, who is her boyfriend in the film, and now she's in a bit of a dilemma where she doesn't know what she's going to do with her future, whether or not she's even going to have a future. Which is actually fair enough, because back in 2000, you know, the whole test scores thing in comparison today, everyone always drilled that sense of, if you don't have good test scores, you're fucked in the future. That's as simple as that. There's no other way to describe that.
Greg's throwing this party tonight. It's going to be really big. Do you want to come?
I failed my exams, Mike. I don't have anything to celebrate.
Darling, nobody is going to be worried about your exam results. There's more important things in life.
What would you know? You've got rich parents. You play football. You don't need grades like I do. Just don't get it, do you?
Kim, come on.
No. I'm tired of you and your friends all coming to school in your Beamers and your Mercs and your Jags and acting as if nothing else matters because you're rich. When you're rich, nothing matters, right? I'm still working my ass off. I'm getting to school on a bloody bus. I'm not only poor, but I also failed my fucking exam.
If this was made like 5 years ago or 10 years ago, you know, this movie would be completely just totally slaughtered in itself. These people, they wanted to be completely isolated. They even make a point of that in the movie, that they don't want to have any connection with the outside world. They want to enjoy their last day away from school, away from everyone, and just be in this gymnasium that they've broken into, get ridiculously drunk, enjoy the swimming pool, and just have a really good time with each other, which they think is going to be the last time they're going to be spending together. And I kind of think that all these things contribute to the fact that this movie hasn't gotten a like 2 or even a 3. Most of the people who have actually talked about this movie, I'm pretty sure the reason why this movie's even being talked about or found, because James McAvoy and Isla Fisher are in this film, this movie would be buried under like 10,000 layers of concrete if those two actors hadn't have become big. So when they get to the swimming pool, they get really drunk, they start their party, and one by one, these characters start going missing, and everyone's like, not even really thinking about it because they're like, oh, they're probably just off somewhere having sex or something. Which is fair enough because it's your generic slasher flick. But the moment that they find that first dead body, you would think that somewhere in your mind, there's got to be like some central room, like an administration room where you could go into, talk over a PA system, because it's a gymnasium for fuck's sake. You could talk on that PA system, tell everyone to meet in one location and be like, okay, cool, we're all here. If there's a killer here, then they're not gonna just show up with all these people around. And speaking of the only people who are like looking as if they really need to get the fuck out of there, James McAvoy does a fantastic job at like playing off this urgency. I need to get the fuck out of here, like right now. This is an urgency.
Guys, this door is locked. Just give me a hand, would you please?
James McAvoy's like the only reason that this movie even becomes interesting at all.
No, you're the guy who got us in here, so you must be able to get us out.
Oh, sure. Don't think of something yourself. I'll take care of it, okay?
You think this is funny, pal?
Would you guys stop?
Why are we listening to him anyway? He could be the guy doing all this.
Yeah, fuck you, pal.
Fuck you!
Being who he is today, you'd think he'd have a little bit of a bigger role, but no, he's kind of there as a side character to almost push some of the other characters' motivations along.
There you go.
Oh my god, it's amazing. Can I keep this? I'm gonna give this to Gregor. I'll love it. What? What's the problem?
Nothing. It's just, it's for you, not for Gregor.
I thought it was your buddy.
Sure. He's a cool guy. He's the coolest guy. But for you, Sarah, as a boyfriend, you could do a lot better.
Pardon me?
I guess that also explains why he went in the direction that he went, and all the other actors pretty much went nowhere except for Isla Fisher. What the hell was that? You just shot a shotgun at close range and you missed twice. So the positives of the movie would have to be that some of the kills are actually pretty cool in this movie. The dialogue is so cheesy, so bad that it's good or even hilarious. The line delivery and just the music, the settings and how everything is shot, it's so 2000s teen slasher flick. Just ultimate cheesiness and lame.
What have you got?
There's a new pool opened out in Barrington. They say it's really something special. Maybe that's where they went.
I don't think so. But I'm close. I'll check it out.
You want backup?
What for? To look through an empty window?
The effects aren't horrible, they're actually very generic and they're very easy to do. You could do them from your home. In some scenes, it's shot well, like when they're in the vents and stuff. You do kind of get that sense of claustrophobia, but not enough to really sort of care. You do get that sense of urgency and danger from each of the characters, but again, I think James McAvoy really carries that himself. Overall, it's definitely a good popcorn flick if you have like nothing else to watch and you want to kill some time with something that's so bad that it's good, this is probably one of those movies that you'd want to check out because I mean, it's not so bad that it's good. It's one of those movies that you probably wouldn't watch if you saw it on any sort of, you know, listing of movies to watch. The only reason you probably would watch it is because it's got James McAvoy and Isla Fisher on the cover, so you'd be like, oh, okay, cool, I'm gonna check this out. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't think Isla Fisher's on the cover. James McAvoy is, though, and that's probably what's gonna make you want to watch it. But anyway, have you seen Swimming Pool, or The Pool, or that German name of its original title that I'm not going to pronounce again? If you like the video, then like the video. If you dislike it, then dislike it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel and you want to see more movie reviews, I'm doing this one for Halloween. I didn't get to do a Halloween horror movie review thing for you guys, and so I'm doing one right now. Hopefully I can get this up ASAP from Halloween, so yeah, I'll explain that in a vlog tomorrow. Hope you guys are all having a mad day, and until next time, peace. Really? Really? That house is huge. You're in a massive room. You could do laps around that pool and just go round and round in circles and leave that guy just being all pissed off, not being able to chase you. But instead you try to hump a glass door open. And fail. Terribly.